How y'all doing out there, America, the world? We here another Put the Tep Ed podcast. You hear me?
What's up? We back with another one. I'm not even
Yeah,
gonna go on which one we on because we almost at 30. If we're not at 30. We
damn near
close though.
30.
We
Damn near
close.
30. This might be episode 30.
Yeah, it might be closer. It might be close too. For sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, you will know more than me anyway. Cause this is our
yeah.
amazing editor. I'm trying to get into it, but this is our editor. So yeah, he would know more than me.
Facts. It's all. We both play our role in making this production happen. So we both do our best and play our roles. So I'm just grateful
Yeah.
that I got you to do this with.
Same, bro. For real, for real. And with your real blood. Now, I want to put a PDA out there. I am not high or anything. I took my lashes off, and that's why I look like a little Chinese teddy bear.
Yeah, I want to put the just a public service announcement out there. I am a little high. You feel me? I've been there. If you feel me, I got this wine in my cup. I got a couple mushrooms in my system, so
Well,
I'm
I got
feeling good. I'm feeling
a
good.
white claw to help me sleep tonight. That's about it.
Mushroom gummies is good for the spiritual and
For the
creativity.
spiritual growth.
That if you want a organic, natural high, you feel me? It's the best.
Yeah.
The gummies though, sometimes you might get to see Mickey Mouse and Goofy if you get to get
I
on the
mean,
actual mushroom.
I've been there, and I did have an experience with Skittles and things. And it was like a wee moment. I was like on a big ass giant swing, just like we all here. Like it was cool. It was fun as hell. But
I know.
yeah, don't do that. Don't do that unless when you're driving or anything like that.
Yeah, do that. Do that at home. Do that at home. I only do them at home. I don't go out in the public.
Exactly. But yeah, bro, let's get right into it now. One reason why I take my lashes off because we've been having hella rain. Like rain storms in this bitch.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of which, that leads us to our first topic for reals. As the people that don't know, like you said, y'all been having hella rain, and we had a historic uh flood that happened in the city of Milwaukee, and it was
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Like it was something that we never seen, like to amounts of rain and amounts of flooding that we have. We in
Yeah.
our 30s, and we up there. We 30 and up. I ain't gonna reveal our exact age because I still look
Nah, we
like
ain't
I'm
doing all
about
that.
21, so I ain't gonna tell y'all how old I really am. But we 30 and up, to be honest with you. And this is something we never seen in our life, in our time of being in existence. So it's definitely new. It's definitely crazy. What you
I
seen
seen it
that
once. One
in
time.
Milwaukee?
Yeah, in Milwaukee. I lost my car in that flood.
Oh damn.
Yeah, that was let's see, about one. So like about 15 years ago, 14, 15 years ago.
Oh yeah, okay,
So it's been
okay.
a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute though, but
Yeah.
it's astronomical right now. Like it made world news. It is something that's definitely something that the city is definitely not used to. Something that the culture is definitely not used to. Just where we from,
Right.
and it also just recently happened in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where they was flooding. Like I seen a semi truck that was like water on down there on top of the semi truck, and that's crazy. Like so. I
What?
just want to touch a little bit on that as far as this, like you, if y'all you've been paying attention and watching all our episodes, y'all know I just recently came back from New Orleans a couple weeks
Mm-hmm.
ago, and me and my girl was doing some some seeing the sights and just doing some research and doing some history and stuff on the Hurricane Katrina and all that type of stuff, and just
Right.
actually seeing, like, being able to go to those sites and see where like the first levee broke, and literally seeing that right across the street from it is a flourishing black community where it was like literally where these houses and this community is known
Mhm.
for owning their houses and passing their houses down and keeping them houses in the family is a striving black community. And
Yeah.
it's a lot of black communities in Wisconsin. I'm not in Wisconsin, but in Milwaukee. And then where it happened in Tennessee is also the same. So I just see a pattern in it where, like, it feel like they be trying to wipe us out, to be honest with you,
I mean,
to just be totally blunt. It feel like they be trying to wipe out our communities. And when they see thriving black communities, like if you know about Lake Lanier in Georgia, it was literally a whole black community that
mm-hmm.
was literally destroyed. They came in there, they killed them people, they ran them out of their houses, they fucked them all, and then they covered that whole city in a lake. Like
Yeah.
Lake Lanier is a man-made lake that covers what used to be a
Which,
thriving black city. And
mhm.
and it's messed up that they just say, and they even feel like this. You can call it conspiracy, you can call it whatever you want, but I call it facts that they use
Mm-hmm.
like these things, these weather machines, this shit like that, to create floods and create these natural disasters
Right.
to basically wipe us out of our communities and take away from our legacy when we try to just be our own. Because and I've heard so many, and I ain't no racist person, but I'm a realist, and I've heard so many white people in America always say, "Oh, go back to where y'all came from, go back to this, go back to Africa. Why don't you go over here? We're gonna go back there." Like, we from here. Let's
Yeah.
just put that out there first, and then to say, like, bro, y'all know how impacted this country would be if people of color actually decided to leave this motherfucker, like we
Mm-hmm.
are the tastemakers, we the builders, we the creators, we built this literally, like not even
Really.
figuratively, we literally built this country. And not just black people, but on the backs of Mexicans, on the backs of black people, on the backs of all types of races that make up this country that we living in. And for them to be like, okay, go back to where you came from, like we already where we came from. And if we leave
Exactly.
and when we do leave and we go create our own Black Wall Streets and we go create our own flourishing communities and our flourishing cities and we do our own thing, we literally separate ourselves from y'all and go do our own thing. Y'all can't stand it. Y'all want to
Y'all
wipe
can't
us out.
stand it.
Y'all want to create these floods and create these natural disasters and create these
Mm-hmm.
things to try to kill us off because y'all don't want to see us thrive. It's easy for us to
Exactly.
really yeah, if we do so decide to leave and go create our own communities or create our own cities or create our own wherever the fuck we choose to go, whether it be Africa, Asia, wherever we choose to go, we gonna flourish regardless. And when we do
Regardless.
that, and we do decide to do that, like y'all can't stand it. Y'all want to destroy it, and it's fucked up that we live in a society, we live in a world like that, and not only from the aspect of that. But just from a biblical aspect, like we living in difficult times. We living in, and
Mm-hmm.
people been saying it for years. People been saying it for hundreds of years, for whatever. We living in the last days though, like, and we got to be very, very in tune with God right now, man. We need to be really in tune with God. We need to be really in tune with the Spirit and know that all of this stuff is just showing us signs. It's showing us signs. Like when we constantly seeing these floods, we constantly seeing these natural disasters, we constantly seeing the earth consistently rising in heat, and the
Mm-hmm.
sun is like the earth has this way of cleansing itself. And it could be that. It could be man made. It could be man made shit that's trying to wipe us out. But it also could be the earth, the universe,
Right.
cleansing itself from toxicity that we putting out there through pollution, through gas, through whatever, through tearing down the trees, through tearing down the forests and building infrastructures and building buildings and all this type of stuff that is not natural to the earth. The earth will come wipe that shit out just
Mm-hmm.
to restart. Like it happens. I mean, it's a natural way of the earth cleansing itself and basically trying to start over from scratch by wiping away some of the infrastructure, wiping away these buildings, wiping away these cars, wiping away all the stuff that's polluting it and tearing it down and fucking it up. But
Right.
I did just want to take a moment to just acknowledge the people in my city and acknowledge the people that in Tennessee that's going through what they're going through, and just send y'all prayers out to them, send y'all prayers out and to the families and the people, and just from being in New Orleans for the time that I was there and seeing that we are persevering people
Right.
and not
Yeah.
just people of color. Like we are very persevering, and whatever you throw at us, we're gonna catch and we're gonna make lemons. I mean, we're gonna make lemonade out of them lemons. So we will overcome. I said that to say we will overcome. We will thrive. We will grow.
Mm-hmm.
We will get over these events, whether it be man made or whether it be earth made. And we will come out on top, and we will regrow, we will rebuild, we will restructure. We just got to get time and get grace and send our prayers and give our help to the people that need it at these times, for real.
Yeah. I agree, bro. Like, just being in Milwaukee, I really woke up to like a lot of messages like, y'all all right down there? Y'all good? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the hell's happening that I don't know about? Because in certain parts of Wisconsin was got hit way worse. And not even just like outskirts or up north. It was more like places like right in the city, like West Allis, which is like a jump skip from Milwaukee.
Mhm.
Tulsa, while Tulsa is like a jump skip from Milwaukee, like surrounding those areas. So it was flooding a lot worse in a lot of places. A lot of people I know, basements ruined. I know a lot of people was floating on like at least a couple inches of water in their basement. So it did get pretty bad in certain areas for sure. In your car. And if you was just driving through it, you can mess your car up. So I know one time before, like I said, about 15 years ago or 14 years ago, this happened before, and I lost a car, and that because the creek overflowed over, and that's what really happened in a lot of this area. We had rain, but then we had the creeks overflowing, and then we had some backup sewage backup to the city that didn't fix basically or take care of before all the rain came. So they was on the news talking about like, make sure if you go in the basement, if you gotta do this, you gotta do that, put some gloves and put this on and this on. I'm like, so we gonna be like down there cleaning up other people's shit and on our stuff. So it was a sewer backup, which was like worse in certain areas because of that reason. And then the creeks was flowing over. Like we got a lot of little creeks, man-made creeks, like
Yeah.
everywhere, in different places, over bridges everywhere. So like they run over, they overflow, and they go into the streets and everywhere else. Like I started seeing while I was getting all the messages. I'm like, oh damn, Instagram was popping off. Like people in Milwaukee was showing foots of water, like water, and I'm like, damn, I was asleep taking naps, and this is all going on. So it was really a lot of rain. It wasn't just hit in certain areas. It's bad. Like, and then you said Tennessee. Like you said, certain areas in my mind, I can't help but think people trying to, well, the government or whatever it look like, trying to wash us out because, like Lakeland there, we've been told that since we was little, or like at least old enough to remember what it was and what it signifies. And if you know all the stories, especially as people of color, it's supposed to be hunted under there because of all the history and the people that they was killed. All the black people that was killed, people of color was killed. So they basically hunting down, like basically not hunting, but like there to hunt any people who was in that man-made lake because they took it from us. It was our nourishment. It was people, black people coming together and making some of their own, like we always say we want to do. And like you said, when we do it, it's one thing to say you're gonna do it, but when you do it, it's not taken over lightly. It's taken as a smack in the face, and then that power got to be taken back by any means necessary. And that's what that
Facts.
was. It was
Facts.
like, hey, we gonna since y'all want to follow our rules, we gonna wipe y'all out. And it was crazy to hear learn about it. As I got older, like damn, they really can do that. They really did that. And they can, I mean, in my mind, it's was done before, I mean, done in the past, it can be done again. Because it just, it just, that's history repeating itself. And we've all seen history repeat itself over many, many, many times, even with slavery. What people getting killed by people of color getting killed by police officers in certain senses. But certain things repeat itself in a different form. So yeah, I just think that it is making my eyes open like what the hell? Because it was really bad in certain areas and certain we get rain, but we get more snowstorms like that knock us out versus some rain. Like rain has always been like what's it called? April showers, May flowers type shit. Like we got it
Yeah.
in May. I mean in
It's
April.
regular. It comes when it's supposed to. It's regular.
Yeah,
It
in
comes
the
in the
spring.
springtime. Yeah.
Exactly. Now ain't even a spring anymore in Wisconsin. In Milwaukee for say. It's not a spring. It jumped right from winter to summer. And whatever summer looked like, it could be what, 22 to 90 something. It don't have no middle. So it just be yeah, it's all over the place right now. It really is. But like you said, prayers with everybody in Wisconsin, Milwaukee specifically, because that's where majority of our people at and then people of color anyway. And then in Tennessee, Chattanooga. I always mess it up when I say it. Like just just prayers with everybody because people did lose some things, not their lives per se, but you can lose some stuff, and a lot of things in people basements. It's more significant type stuff like memorabilial type of things, like
Yeah.
my memories type stuff. So yeah, so that does hit different too when you losing things like that.
Facts.
And you gotta put some money into something. When you gotta fix something, like a washer or a dryer or
Facts.
flooring or car, anything, you still gotta it hit different.
Hit different.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, people I know and here, they did a lot of people I know basements was messed up for sure. And a couple dryers went out. But gratefully I was okay. A little water in the basement, but not too bad.
Man. All blessings due to the
Right,
creator for real.
right.
All blessings due to Yahweh.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's go on to our next topic, and then we're gonna keep this one real short and simple this week because we're trying to keep on schedule. We're trying to keep a more consistent schedule. But yeah, the topic. So I was just in driving with our mom this week, and she just brought up like, you see that man in the military? Basically, shoot, three of his comrades, I guess, in a sense.
Mm.
Yeah, I was trying to look it up while we was talking, but I couldn't. I couldn't find it because I had it on my phone, but I can't. I can't even find it right now. But he basically shot three of his fellow officers. I mean, fellow officers, fellow soldiers that he's with, his comrades. And he only stopped because he was tackled and taken
Mm.
down by other soldiers. That like, no, that's enough. Now, when I saw the name, it did sound, black, but I can't find the story right now. But I was gonna say like, what happened? Like, what they do? I don't know. I don't want to say what they do to him, but because nobody should be killed in a way of like I'm snapping and I'm gonna shoot
Yeah.
everybody and I'm gonna take everybody out. That's a
Yeah.
cowardly way to go,
Yeah.
especially when you're in the military, because it's a certain statute you live
Yeah.
by.
Certain
We
certain
grew
code you're
up in
supposed to
it.
live.
Right. So we grew up. Our dad was in the military, so we know. It's certain statues. It's a strict military structure. For you, sometimes when it's one of us who do it, or for somebody of color, you do think like, okay, what happened? Like what made them, snap, or what triggered them, or whatever. Because we don't always do that, but nowadays things are changing so much. You know.
Yeah, for real.
But like, I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it. I'm gonna try to pull up the story. Is this still here?
Well,
Oh
my
yeah, eight
thoughts
days
on it is,
ago. Yeah.
I mean, I have a very. I'm gonna start it out with this. I'm gonna tell two stories. I'm gonna make them short and quick and sweet before I lead into my actual thoughts on it. But these two stories comprise my thoughts on
Mm-hmm.
just the military and what it does to mental health. Period. Like you said, our father was in the military. Our father was in the military. He didn't serve time in Georgia. I mean, not Georgia, but in Texas and in Germany. A lot of other places. Like
Washington.
this was back Washington, and this was back in the 70s to 80s,
Yeah.
where racism was still heavily predominant in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Colorism was a thing. All these type of things played a role, and I've witnessed how that played a role in my father's mental health. Like
Yeah.
from just seeing how he was seeing how he was with us, seeing how it played a role in just his overall mental health. From like hearing
Mm-hmm.
stories and seeing his high school pictures of being like a star athlete and all these type of things, and just a laid back ladies man type whatever type of guy, and
Right.
just turning him into like a different type of person in certain
Yeah.
ways from experiences that he may have seen in the military. And my dad told me personally, and not to say that ain't your dad. We always have this thing when we say my
I
mom,
don't
my
know
dad,
why
my
we always
mom.
say that.
People tease us our whole lives saying like, why you say your dad or your mom when y'all got the same mom and
The
same
same
dad?
mom and dad.
But
You're
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. That's just how we talk. But my dad told me personally when I was an adolescent, he told me, don't join the military, son. Because I told him like at one point in time I was like, I want to follow in your footsteps. And that, I mean, I was the only boy, so of course that every boy who has a strong father figure in their life, at one point in time, we always want to follow. We always want to be like our daddy. We always want to
Yeah.
follow in Pop's footsteps and do what dad did type shit. Especially when they led a noble life type situations.
Right.
Even when they didn't, half the time, daddy be a drug dealer, you want to be a drug dealer. Even when it's
Yeah.
not
I
so
mean.
noble. Yeah, even when it's not so noble. At one point in
Yeah.
time, a young man always wants to follow in the footsteps of his father. So I was having this conversation with Pops at one point in time when I was young in my adolescence. And he told me blatantly, specifically, do not join the army, son. I did it to support from my family. I did it because it was what I felt like needed to be done at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But he gave me the advice. He said, "Don't do it. It's not for us. It's not our war. It's not our fights. People in other countries love us. They embrace us. People of color is what I'm saying about
Right.
us. But they embrace us. They love us. And he said he heard it from people overseas all the time. Why are you here? And I've heard these stories doing research in a lot of other aspects, whether from the battles in Asia, the battles in wherever, Afghanistan. Like they asked black people, people of color, why are y'all here? This ain't we have no
Mm-hmm.
beef with y'all. We have no strife with y'all. This is not y'all war. Why are y'all fighting these white man's war? And my
Right.
dad told me that like it's not for us. It's great opportunities. You can get college for free and you can do all this other stuff, but you can do that same shit on your own. It's
Yeah.
not don't join the army. This is not what I want for you. I don't feel like it's for us. I did it because it was something I felt like I had to do and something that I utilized as a tool for my life. But he gave me the advice not to do it, and he
Mm.
told me like the aspects in which it affected his mental health and his overall view of the world. And I took that advice and I strayed away from it. All the goals or aspirations or thoughts and stuff that I had of joining the military, I followed his advice and I immediately
Yeah.
just blocked them out of my head. Okay, Pop said don't do it. He gave me his reasons of why not to do it. That's enough for me. I'm cool. So
Right.
that's my first story. My second story is our cousin. Our
I mean,
cousin Mikey. Very similar story to Pop's, only way more extreme.
yeah.
So our cousin was now this is different from my father because I seen like I grew up next to Cuz. Cuz was around your age, so of course he was years older than me. But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, I done been in the trenches with Cuz. I done been on the block with Cuz. I done been, I done been with this nigga every day basis type situation at one point in
Right.
time type situation. So I know Cuz. I know Cuz. Don't mind that. That's the dog.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, you good. I know Cuz though. So I know that this was he Puerto Rican and black, pretty boy, ladies man, might
Mm-hmm.
hustle, sell a couple packs from every here and there. Never was a motherfucker that was in the streets trying to kill people and never was on no violence and just gang banging. Cuz was like just a lady, like a Puerto Rican and
Ladies
black pretty
man.
boy, ladies
Yeah.
man, laid back, quiet. regular type of dude. Like that's how Cuz was. Like I done seen Cuz get emotional getting his hair braided by my mom. Like the same person who braided my hair all my life. Like that's the type of
Right.
Cuz, that's the type of person Cuz was. Like he wasn't no super thug. He wasn't that type of dude. He was a ladies' man, a player, and a hustler. He might hustle,
Yes.
sell a couple drugs, might do what he does to get his bread, but he wasn't violent. That wasn't in his nature. He never was
Yeah.
that. So seeing him go from that to going and doing his time in the army and doing 4 years in Iraq during 2001 to 2006, 2005, when we was literally in war, like when
Danger
this was
zone.
during
Yeah.
the yeah, when we was in the Bush administration, like this man literally was in Afghanistan fighting in one of the most prominent wars that we've had in the history of our country. And I seen what it did to him mentally. Like Cuz came
Hmm.
back. I literally seen Cuz, like he was on the news at one point in time. You remember that when he was on
Hmm.
the news at one point in
Yeah, I
time,
do.
like they thought he was dead. They said he was dead on the
Yes.
news because again, one of his platoon members, one of the people that was in his camp. I don't know the proper brigade, platoon, whatever
Yes,
whatever
me
the
either.
terminology they use. But one of the people that was in his camp, that was one of his peers, picked out and got to killing people, got to shooting
Yeah.
people, and he was in very close proximity to one of the people that got killed, such close proximity that the news announced that he was dead because
Yeah.
he was right there when it happened, and it could have easily been him that got killed. Like that's how
Right.
close he was in proximity of seeing one of his army buddies kill other army buddies, like just
Yeah.
clicking out. And then he also showed me a bunch of stuff on his laptop where, like, man, dismemberment, people without their legs, people with their heads blown off, people like killed in very graphic ways
Form.
and forms, and the way that he like showed me too, it's like we sitting back, pardon me, just years ago, but pardon just being real, we sitting back smoking weed and he's showing me this stuff like as
It's a
entertainment.
picture. Exactly.
It's entertainment. He laughing like, man, look at this, cuz. Like, man, look at this. I got this picture of so and so. They got their shit blown off, or look at this person with their head chopped off, or look at this person with their
Yeah.
legs cut off because they stepped on a bomb. Like, and I'm looking at this like, man, cuz, turn this off. Like, bro, you
Right.
blowing my high. Like, I don't want to see people dismembered and people killed in such
Hmm.
graphic, you feel me, forms of being mutilated. Like,
Right.
but for him, it had become normal.
Yeah, it did.
So he was just grateful to made it out of that situation, and he looking back at it like, how we all go through situations where it's like it was traumatic when it happened, or it was something bad or embarrassing, and you can look back on it and laugh,
Yeah.
and then something, how we all go through that, where you've been
Yeah,
through
we
something
all
and
go through that.
yeah, we all go through that, where you go through something and then you be like, man, it was embarrassing, or it was hurtful, or whatever it was at that time, but then you just be like, okay, I can look back on this and laugh now. Like that was how it was for him. That's not
Yeah,
normal. That's not
it's
normal
not.
to be able to see people get mutilated and people stepping on bombs and getting being dismembered and being murdered, like killed, and that's
Yeah,
something that you can look back on and laugh at because you made it out of it. Like that's not cool. That's not
it's
normal.
not
And then
normal.
cuz mentality alter dramatically just going through what he went through, and it's messed up. Like I feel like the army does something to you mentally.
Hmm.
Like not just necessarily the army, period. If you go through it and you just in basic training, whatever, hoorah type shit, you go through that, you go through get a college degree, whatever type of stuff. But specifically going to war,
War.
seeing people get killed and all that type of stuff, going overseas, that does something to us mentally. It's not normal. It's not natural. It's not nothing that we should have to be. It's not humane. And I feel
Right.
like it does have an effect on our mentality and our mental state, and it can make you click out,
They can.
and the army needs to take a responsibility to do more things, to have more tools available for them, because a lot of people come home from the military and can't get a job, can't get housing, can't and they be fucked up, veterans that
Yeah,
then serve this country and come home and they be fucked up, and that's fucked up.
it
Like I feel like
is.
they don't do enough for them by providing them with the right psychiatric treatment or the right psychology or the right therapist. I feel like they should do way more to make sure that these people that sacrifice their life come
Hmm.
home and be able to live a normal life without having to have PTSD.
And that's what it is. Like PTSD, mental health. Like your mind can switch from having bipolar symptomatics off top, just like what you've seen, the traumatic of that type of stuff, because that's not normal. I mean, that means you lack some remorse, empathy, sympathy. All that is going out the window when you can laugh about things that's abnormal to us, but it comes normal to you for sure. So yeah, that it does do something to the brain. It makes it click different. And if you already got something going on where you've been through trauma, and he has in his
Yeah,
past, like just growing up, he's been through some traumas and things in his life overall. So if you got that little bit of trauma or a lot of bit of trauma, and you put somebody in a situation where they have to like fend for themselves in survival mode all the time. And some things may click different because you're starting to see things in a whole different light. Because now I gotta reprogram my mind in a whole
Hmm.
different place, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it out of this. So I
Hmm.
gotta reprogram. You know what I'm saying? So like certain things make you in survival mode. So because of all that, like it should be some more services for like within like for people in the military and for mental health services and stuff. Because when they do come back, they gotta fit for themselves. A lot of our homeless is ex-military.
Veterans.
A lot of our yeah, a lot of our veterans, a lot of our, like people, most of our veterans are not most, but a lot of our veterans are homeless. Unfortunately, because they come back to nothing. Now some of them have services, some of them have get some money, but not enough to survive on. Not in
Mhm.
this day and age. So like even then, if you can't hold down a good job or a job alone because your mental is not there all the way, what are you supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Like you it's only one thing or another. You can only either I'm gonna give you some help or you gonna make me go out there and fend for myself. And that puts me in a messed up situation. Now I might be living on the street because I can't do both. You know what I'm saying? So I do think the military drops the ball big time, just like seeing our father and then our relatives, more than one relative, but like those specific examples for sure put it like a flashlight in your eyes, like this is what our normal was, and then you put somebody in survival mode all the time who got a sense for themselves, who's already got some PTSD from a history of traumatic trauma, and then you make it worse, and then you tell them go ahead figure it out, basically. Like,
Basically,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and when they can't figure it out and something happens, then we quick to lock them up, throw away the key because it's easier and it's cheaper for us to do
mhm.
that versus get them some services that they may need for they mental. Because all of us need services for our mental. Let's be real, everybody
Even
do.
regular folks. Yeah, us regular
Yeah,
folks.
but like in that certain aspect, that puts a whole couple other layers on top of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It brings it to a whole nother like extreme, especially when you're a person who maybe you had just some anxiety before, and now you put me over here. Now I'm over here with anxiety, PTSD. I'm always like feeling like somebody watching. It's a lot going on in my brain, and you're not trying to help me. What I'm supposed to do?
Facts.
Like go out there and try to figure it out on my own? Because I'm not. Because I'm still
Facts.
maybe in denial, or I might not understand what's going on. So
Facts.
if it's a setup for failure, this I know it was like a young man who shot like 3 out of 5 of his bunkmates, and got tackled down. That's the only reason why I stopped. Basically, I always look at. I'm not saying it's right at all because I don't agree with that whatsoever of killing somebody, especially when you. I mean, if you snap and you kill somebody, it's still killing somebody. But like, I do understand both sides. If there's a reason why, or it's always a reason why. But like the reason for the behavior, the hell is wrong with your ass? It's always a reason for the behavior, and we always like we look at the behavior, but we don't look at the reason for it. And most
The
of the
why.
time,
Yeah,
that's
the
what that's
why.
that's what we're missing.
Yeah, and not even sorry to cut you out, but like
I'm like, good.
just essentially what we're doing with the military, especially sending people into combat, you're weaponizing people. You
Yeah,
turn people into
you are.
weapons. You give them structure. You give them so much discipline. You turn them
Yeah,
into like, okay, you wake up at this time, you train at this time, you eat at this time, you do this at this time, you shit at this time. You're weaponizing these people and you're taking away their sense of humanity and turning them into trained killers, and
killers.
then use them to complete your mission and then thrust them back into society like they're just regular citizens. These people are
Yeah,
no longer regular citizens. I have been weaponized. I have been trained. I am a trained weapon. Though I'm still a human being, at this point, I'm a trained weapon. And this is what I know. That some people, this
right.
is all they know. This is much. They may have never found their calling, never found anything that they was good at until they
Yeah,
got into the army, until they got overseas, until they got into war. And now you done weaponized me, and I done fell in love with killing people because this is the only thing I feel like I'm good at.
that's all.
And then you
Yeah,
expect me to once my mission is complete for you, you throw me back in society and just expect me to just turn this switch off and just turn back into a regular person. It's not
and that's
right. It's not logical.
it's not real logical or realistic at all. And
Nah.
that's why we have people who sometimes, snap, sometimes there's always a reason, like we said, like you just can't really, like, it's like telling me, all right, I'm gonna give you these skills, but I'm gonna tell you to turn them off and turn them on and turn them off. Like that it doesn't make sense. That's
It's
like
not. It's
somebody
not
saying
logical.
like, "All right, my baby's spoiled, but not on Fridays and Saturdays." Type shit. Like you can't turn it on and off. Like if your baby's spoiled, baby's spoiled. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
Like it doesn't make any sense. But I do think that they dropped the ball a lot with the
Yeah.
military and the after service. If you want somebody to do the work for you, then you need to take care of them afterwards.
Do the work for them afterwards. Like exactly.
Yeah,
That's really the ultimate put to bedness on it for me is that like
same.
stop dropping the ball and do something. These people serve their country. These people they completed your mission. They did their work for you. Now do y'all work for
Yeah.
them. Do them to do service that they need to be rehabilitated because you've already turned them into a weapon. Now take the responsibility to de-weaponize them and
Mm-hmm.
reiterate them into society properly to where they can get a good job, where they can have good housing. Like these people should be have way more benefits. They should be taken care of way more
Yeah.
after they essentially sacrifice their lives for y'all cause because it's not our cause, and not even to
It's
say
not.
just us as black people, us as civilians. Period. It's not our cause, and we sacrificing ourselves for y'all cause. Do y'all due
Mm-hmm.
diligence and y'all proper assessments and proper work and proper accountability to do right by them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these, like you said, a lot of homeless people we see, a lot of people that we see going to jail and getting stupid dumb numbers for crimes that they committed because they clicked out, are people who are ex-military and people who are essentially just suffering from PTSD and have been turned into a weapon and don't know how to turn it off. Like it's
Yeah.
y'all the government. If y'all the government y'all feel like it's y'all responsibility to enlist people and send them over there, then make it y'all responsibility to take care of them people when they get home. It's put to
Yeah.
bed.
At least, and I'm gonna put it to bed like at least with medical and some housing, at least,
Yeah,
and then you can start with there's a lot of places that offer of veteran services or jobs, even hooking them up with those kind of like counseling services. Y'all got people to go recruit. Y'all should have people to recruit when people are here to help them out with the services they need. But yeah, it's put to bed for me for
facts.
sure.
Facts. Well, this has been another episode of the Put to Bed podcast,
Yes, he
man.
is.
I hope it was informal. I hope y'all learned something. I hope y'all pay more attention to y'all loved ones and pay more attention to the homeless person that you might see on the street because that person may be suffering and going through something. Whether they've been just recently in a
Hmm.
flood and lost their house to a natural disaster, or whether they've been traumatized and suffering from PTSD from something that our
Yeah.
country has put through. So just be show more humility to your fellow man.
And show more grace. And this is a one story of millions of stories where people lose it
Facts.
in the military. So it's not nothing new. We just need to
Facts.
start putting more voice to it for sure. But yeah, it's put to bed for me for sure, bro.
Facts. Well, love, blood.
Yes, sir. All
You
right,
know,
bro.
we always say, man, rest your eyes, but don't rest your mind, don't rest your spirit, don't rest your soul, don't rest your ambition.
Yes, and if you fall, get yourself back up. Everybody make mistakes. Dust yourself off. Keep it moving. And if people try to tell you different, tell them I'm still keeping it moving. I still got my shit together. I made a mistake, bruh.
For real.
But yeah, it's put to bed.
Yeah.
All right, broski, love.
I love it.
I've been studying the bane in my existence. They try to write me off, but I keep taxing them consistent. You don't know the pain of being trapped inside the system. Soon as they read you your rights, you know you on your way to prison. It's a trap. And why the hell you think they call it that? Trust falls the way I'm comfortable with falling back.